Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In today's video we're going to look at the round 3 review. And so I guess I'll just preface this by saying this could be probably the worst video yet in terms of quality. I know it's not super great quality to begin with, but there is renovations going on in the next door neighbours just the other side of the wall, and also got a bit of a dry scratchy throat going on, so I'll do my best to punch the content out. Um, but yeah, I'll just preface it with that. So, looking at how the team went, 1059, so my highest score for the year. But as you can see, still that's only the top 31%. So, slowly edging back up in the ranks. But we're going to have to do a little bit more than that, I think, in terms of moves to get back up the ladder. In terms of how the team went, tough luck. Yeah, that sounds about right. I think the two I lost were by 6 and by 1 in the leagues, so that was a bit flat, but that's how it goes sometimes. So I guess start with the good. Harry Grant, 105. The bad being that I took the captaincy off him, took Tommy Turbo's VC score, and probably cost me about 20 points in the shakedown, but I guess that's one of those things you can't really foresee. So, 20 points is not that much in the grand scheme of things. Would have got me a couple of head-to-head wins though, so a bit of bad luck there. But I mean, we knew Harry Grant was gonna, and the Storm were gonna bounce back. Their attack did. Unfortunately, the defense did not. I didn't see a lot of the games this weekend either, but I guess the Titans putting 38 points on them is a bit of a concern there on the defensive end. But Supercoach is more about attacking stats, so we'll take the ton every time. Brandon Smith, so 54, so he has dropped a bit of value. 36 at 37k, let's say. It's not the worst result. And obviously now one of those low scores is out of his average, so no need to panic on him. He has got the bye this week, so he won't be in the team. Um, but I think yeah, we can hold fire on that. Joe Tarpany, 63, so averaging 60, which is about what you can expect from a front rower. Still pretty sure he hasn't got the attacking stats going yet. If we just have a look, yeah, so nothing in the tries column. Scroll across, yeah, no line breaks or anything yet. So obviously, 60 is his base, and he does have that ability to spike, get over the stripe off a short ball, that sort of deal. So no need to panic on him just yet, even though he does have the red arrow next to his name. That's his break even this week, 77. So that's, yeah, no need for concern. Tohu, so 60 at a base. Again, we'll take that in the front row position every day of the week. Stefano, 48. He's kicked up in value, I think about 50k. Could even be closer to 60. Yeah, 58.3. So keep them coming, Stefano. You're doing the business. Kepi, 36. So he's sort of, averaging 38. It looks about right for his role and his time on ground. So he will make a bit of cash, but he is there more as that sort of slow burn type option in the forwards. So into the second row, so Cam Murray, I guess another sort of base 60 score, and he obviously has the upside, so we'll sort of take that and ride that out. Fafita, 49, so guessing he didn't get any attack against the Storm, which is rare when they've put on 70 points, 60 minutes. Maybe he went off, I'm not 100% sure. Try contribution, yeah, no line breaks or the like. So yeah, not sure. Maybe it was a super hot weekend, and I'm pretty sure they had the afternoon game. So the big fella might have just needed a spell. I reckon I would have too. And then Hopgood. So I guess coming back to the pack a bit. excuse me, I told you the dry throat would get me eventually. 45, so I didn't play 80 minutes. Um, yeah, he's not going to play 80 minutes every week. And again, it could have just been the warmer weather um, or that. But I mean, 45 at his absolute minimum isn't too bad. I mean, what's he average? Made us 150k in 1 week. So normally you'd take that from a cheapie before moving them on. So he's definitely going to do the business, even if he doesn't prove to be a keeper to the end. Liero, 29. So he's definitely on the chopping block at some stage. He obviously made a bit of cash, and I think he's still got a fairly low break even, 38. But I mean, if he's getting 29 in a team that scored 30 something points, maybe the upside isn't quite there. Jacob Preston, so 69 points, so doing the business. That's about 100k price rise for him. The Bulldogs, I only saw part of the game. I was listening to it on the way home from a day trip to the Gold Coast with the Misso. So, yeah, they were sort of, it sounded like, they were doing well, they were scoring tries. They sort of let the Tigers have a bit of hope there with the 10 minutes. But again, you could probably write that off as being a stinking hot day. The middle forwards are getting a bit tired, and the Tigers sort of just pulled their pants down for a few minutes. And then Matt Dury, 54. So, that's pretty good. Above his average. He's made some money for us. 50k or thereabouts. Saw something about he might have an injury though, so we'll have to explore that further before we sort of think about what to do next. But worst case scenario, he's probably just a little hold. Although Madison back this week, if he is injured, he could lose his place and not necessarily be able to get it back in time. So we'll just have to wait and see on that. So Nathan Cleary was the captain, obviously on the bye. He was just the loophole captain, so I could get Tommy Turbo's VC score. So obviously, if it wasn't for him, I would have had Tanner Boyd with 47. Again, in a side that's scoring so many points, you'd hope the halfback would have a bit more than that to show. But I guess the plan has always sort of been to move him up to Nico Hines this week. So, he's done well not to lose as much cash as we thought, which obviously helps. But we already had more than enough to cover that base anyway. So Adam Dewey, 28. So again, like I said, I didn't see a lot of the Dogs game, and I guess it was pretty rare that all the attack that the Tigers had late didn't really go through him. Might have had something to do with that reshuffle. I think he was back playing fullback when they brought Wakeham in. But yeah, I mean, if the Tigers can take that into the future games, he'll definitely make more than that. It was sort of one of those games where you looked at it and thought, I wish I hadn't traded Matt Burton. But on the balance, I think this was still a good trade. It just didn't work out this week. Katoa, 27 for the Dolphins, so he's making some money, doing his thing. That's all we can ask for at this point. So then into the back line, Karaz, 62. Pretty sure that's all in base because most of the tries were down that left edge for the Dogs this week. If we have a look at the stats, yep. So tackle busts, not as many as against Melbourne, but it'd be pretty rare that would be the case. But 45 hit ups, that's obscene. Obviously, it was stinking hot, so trying to give the forwards a break. So that's an absolute weapon effort from Karaz. No wonder he got I think it was 5 Dalian points for that game. Absolute machine. And Paul Alamotti, so I guess he sort of broke out performance, a couple of try assists, just leaning on the Fox to do the heavy lifting in terms of running the length of the field twice. But I guess with that second try too, the support and then drawing both defenders and the ball around the corner to put the Fox away, that was pretty skillful. So, yeah, great call to play him this week. The hammer, so 55. I think that's his lowest score for the season. But still, he's not going to turn up every week or do absolute bits. But like the reason we brought him in is he's getting involved and getting his hands on the footy, so that always means there's potential for upside. Then we got Will Warbrick, he's really struggling. So 14 this week. He's going to have that spike game where the ball just goes out to his wing and he gets it over the stripe. But yeah, obviously not this week. And you see Khan Pereira with his spike game 65. It's a bit flat that he could have had extra 50 points if you'd switched. Nickel Clockstad didn't play obviously with the concussion, but he should be back this week. And Loomy, the mistake, he's about to go. And so yeah, Tommy Turbo, as we talked about, we took his VC score of 103 um, off the back of some underperforming C and VC scores from Cleary and Tedesco, to be more specific. So yeah, as soon as we saw the ton, it was like, oh, you got to take it. I didn't think we'd get much from Boyd, and that would probably be our AE score or even Khan Pereira, so we were prepared for that. But in the shakedown, it probably cost us 20 points or something. I didn't do all the maths on that. Taruva was obviously on the bye, so excuse me. So in terms of the plan this week, it was all about making money last week to bring in Nico Hines. So that's just what we would do. Nico Hines. The other move is to upgrade Loomy to. Might be easier if I search for it, but I'll just keep going. Can't be that far off. Hang on, what's happened here? We're by price. That's why I can't find the player. No, let's go total point. Let's go round 3 points. See if we can find him on that list. Probably not right at the top. Actually, I think he didn't go as well this week, did he? There he is, Tyrell Sloan. So, he was one that sort of featured in pre-season, and then we knocked back just on the trial form. But I guess sort of since then he's looked good in the 2 games he has played, and I guess sort of he's talking to the media too about sort of taking responsibility for last year and the whole asking to be released sort of thing. Bodes really well. It suggests that he's matured as a player. So, yeah, so super keen to get him in the side. It'll provide a bit more flexibility, especially given um, the centre wing, fullback swing that we've got going at the moment until Teddy comes good. And yeah, so I mean they're the 2 trades I planned. I hadn't planned on putting in a boost, but I guess the one that would be nice is Red Marnie, but he's obviously blown 30k on. That's not too bad. So I'm about 50k short of Smith to Marnie. I mean, the alternative is, if I'm not going to play Sloan and he's more of a cash grab, I could go for the points that Red Marnie offers. Because, yeah, let's just undo it and have a look. Just go all the way back, I suppose. So load the original trade. Nico Hines, there we go. And then if we get Smith out, we could go Red Marnie. So that is an option. Um, yeah, so it doesn't allow us to get Sloan in. And, we're not making a lot of cash out of an extra player. Still got that dead sort of centre wing spot. But it's not the worst thing in the world either. So that's the other option. I don't think, yeah, even if we use the third trade, that would work out. Yeah, and yeah, I can't see anyone else I'd be willing to give the flick in order to make that happen. So they're the two options, whether we go up or we sort of go sideways in a sense, that to try and make some more cash for our final team. Maybe in terms of like the ranking and stuff, this would make more sense, but um, yeah, something to ponder over the next few days anyway. But yeah, so there's the team as it stands. Um, yeah, we'll do the usual, probably Thursday video, or it could even be Wednesday if I get too excited. Who knows? But later in the week, we'll look at who's trading in, out. Obviously, the team list will be available, so then that'll confirm more of our decision around, well, first of all, whether Hines is available. If he's away for another week, that could float up some interesting possibilities on trades and the like, given the war chest that was available. And yeah, so if you've got any comments on what you think we should do with the team moving forward, feel free to share those. If you are enjoying the content, please like the videos, subscribe to the channel, just so I can see I'm moving in the right direction. And aside from that, I'll see you in the next one.